Hi everyone! Welcome to Live with Janome. I'm Ann Hine, Embroidery Software Specialist for Janome America, and I'm going to put my camera on so I can say a proper hello. So let me get to that part. Here we are. There we go. So welcome everyone to Live with Janome. And today I'm going to pull up my comments over here so we can get the I can see what you guys have to say today as we do my live. And I think I'm here. There we go. Oh, there it is. Perfect. All right, so I've got my comments up over here and I'm ready to go. So welcome to live. Today I'm talking to you about some cute, there on this side, some cute Halloween decorations and another little project. Let's see if I can get my finger. That one right there. It's not mine, but I'm going to tell you about that project. So we're going to make some cute decorations. You can make anything you like. I'll show you how I got to mine. And these are made with the Artistic Digitizer software. And then the other one with that spider, you're going to find out about that at another time. So let me go ahead and I'm going to close this out of here. And I'm going to put my camera on so you can see what one of these ghosts look like. And then, let's see, here we go. All right, so here it is. These are my little ghost hangers. I did mine, with felt, and they have felt on the back. And this is actually an applique in the center there. It's hard to see it because it's black and black, but there's a little applique. And this is one I did probably last year, Halloween masks. This was using the Create Floral fill, so I used the floral vine and then I added the bat in there instead of flowers and used one of these masks here. And I do have two more things to show you because people have been talking about them over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. One of them is this needle sorter, needle holder. One of our members posted a smaller one that was a little pillow size or pincushion size. And then I think 2 years ago, one of our members created this one in it's much bigger here. And she made it like a pillow. I made mine flat and then I put it on a clipboard and then I just kind of tuck my needles in here. So I have the different needles over here and then the sizes across the top. So this is great, for all those needle sorting that you need to do, and I can just lay this in my drawer. It works out just fine. The instructions for this, there's a PDF of directions over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. Just scroll on down and you'll find it. This is very easy to do. Creating the lines and putting a decorative stitch around it, all of that part, even if you didn't make the front, add the back to it at all or did any of that, just to make the top part, and you could sew the rest on your machine. So that's over on the Janome Artistic Digitizer Facebook page. Hello, Marty. Great to see you. And then I want to show this because we're in the trial for the Artistic Digitizer software. I have this is a paint stitch I did. It's a photograph, and I broke it into sections so that I could sew it. I could do the paint stitch and then make a tile scene out of it. So I don't know if I can get my camera up that high to see all of it. Yeah, we can't really go that high today on my camera, but you can see how paint stitch works. It makes a thread work of your art. It's one of the ways to auto-digitize a graphic, a photograph, and so forth. So this is one thing I really love, and I'll be talking more about this as we go on other lives. I've done those on other lives. But today, we're talking about making these little ghosts, and I'm going to put the camera back on me because they're kind of behind me here. I have the two different ghosts up there, and then I have the candy corn. And the candy corn is actually crosshatched, but it's hard to see. And then this piece here, I'm going to take it out. This is a sweatshirt, and this will be tomorrow's project on the Continental Club. This is from Danielle Amato. Let me see if I can find it. She might pop in here today. I know she's in the office. We have a few of us here today doing different things. Isn't this cool? I'll let her tell you about this tomorrow, how she did this. Though I may take this home. I think it'll fit me. I think it'll work. And my oldest, he does like raise spiders. I know it's kind of odd thing. Let me take this down. so we can see that candy corn up close. There we go. And so I am at the office. If you notice, it's a different background. I'm at the office today, and this is our studio. This is only a corner of our studio. There's a whole bunch more here, and typically on that side are all the cameras, and then but when I do my lives, I have my own little setup that I use. So it's been pretty fun. I may post the pictures from earlier onto my Facebook page, so you might see them. So this is the one that is the crosshatch candy corn, and I'll show you how to actually, piece in the hoop. And this, I did all of these on a wash away stabilizer. So this one is like a patch, see? It has I put the same thread in the bobbin, so it has a nice edge like a patch. And on some of this, I did wash the wash away. I haven't gotten all the way around yet to get it all cleaned up. You can see some of it there. But once I get it like this, I trim it real nice, and then I'll just take a damp, wet cloth, around the edges to clean up all of that part of it. So this is really easy to do. I did do this on a little bit of batting, and then I put the felt on the back. And then here's another look at my different ghosts. So you can hang them up. You can do a little loop at the top like this and hang them up on a string like this, a banner. So you could do different candy corns and different ghosts and kind of do every other. You could actually do any shapes. You could do leaves and things like that. And I have done those in the past, but I felt like I wanted to do something fun on there. Oh, I see Danielle's watching. There we go. I hope you saw I showed your sweatshirt. So yeah, if you want to catch Danielle and her project, it'll be tomorrow on our Continental Club right here, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm going to sure check that out tomorrow. All right, so let me get the software on and we'll go over how I did this in the software. It's very easy. So if we have some new people out there that are trying the software for the first time, this is something I think you could really do. I really think so. And even paint stitch. I mean, there's a lot of things I think people can do. So let me get the software up and then we'll play a little bit. So here we are on our welcome page. And I'm just gonna, we'll see, there we go. Let me get back to the welcome page. And I'm gonna go in and I'm actually gonna go to the browse function here. And I do have, this is my USB. So when I go into the browse, the reason I like it is because it shows my folders. And then when I open a folder, it shows me everything that's in there and I can see all the designs. So this one over here, I know has my Halloween stuff. So now I can see these are all graphics. And if I wanted to sort it by embroidery or graphics, I could do that at the bottom. But these are kind of a bit of the graphics that I used. Actually, one of them's missing that I used, but that's okay. We can still work around it. And then I'm going to go back to my my USB, and I want to go into this one here and open this up. So this is I get my designs over here at Daily Art Hub. And what I did this time for the fall or Halloween, I made a folder with just a snapshot of the JPEG of all the designs that are in each of the sets of, and these are really for paper crafting and things like that, but I use them a lot. This is the ghost I used for our, and I'll make it a little bit bigger, for our project today. Where did it go? It's at here it is, this one here. And then I did use, let's see, some of the faces from here, or one of the other ones. I like the faces that were in, I don't know, were they in the same one? Maybe it was, yeah, the same one here. So you can bring in a graphic and convert it. Now, the nice thing about Daily Art Hub is those, you have a choice when you open up their designs. They have JPEGs and SVGs. Now, an SVG is very easy to convert. So I'm going to show you that right now. And I actually did a little patch too. I forgot to show my patch. Well, let me pull it up here so I remember to show you a little bit later on doing a patch. So if you liked one of these and you wanted to use it for the base to get started, since it is an SVG, if I just double click, it auto digitizes it. And look at that. That's pretty cute, right? So you could use this shape if you wanted, or you could use the shape of the one that I used, or you can draw your own shape. So, and that comes out. So now at this point, I have it selected. It selected this inner part. I could come over here to my step. If I'm going to do it all in embroidery, I could give it a pattern. And let's see if we could find something that might be more spooky. Maybe something like that, a little bit wavy. So you have options to what to do with that. So I'm going to go back to the browser and open up the folder for today and bring in my ghost that I did. So here we go. Let's bring in, we'll do this one here. So what I did first is, just like the one over here, I brought it in and I have my shape. And so from that shape, I decided to go up here to auto, and so I could see my parts, and I could go delete everything that I don't want, but I really just need the shape of this ghost. So I'm just going to pull that over here like this. And then I'm going to come up here to convert, auto border. I want it to go to the outside and remove holes. And so then I'm going to do and running stitch and okay. So see down here, it makes my outline. So once I have my outline, and I can fix this top part because it left it, where you took that out, it had remove overlaps, took that away. To fix that, I'm going to just select the outline, and I'm going to move the outline to here really quick. To fix that, I would go to my edit nodes, and then I can zoom in here, and I could delete maybe this node and see what happens. Click on this one, I'm left clicking, and I could use these arrows to straighten up the top of my ghost, just like that. There we go. And delete that one. Just select it, hit delete on your keyboard. There we go. And then click on the node, left click, and then just move these arrows up. And then now I have a better outline for my ghost. So that's how, I'm going to go back to my ghost hanger here. That's how I created the outside of this ghost. And I'm going to go to my view and remove the grid so you can see this better. There we go. So that would be this one right here, this part right here. So in the beginning, I had that, and then I worked around it from there. I kept the eyes and turned them into appliques and so forth. So to do, we're going to work with this guy here. Or if you don't have a graphic, you can draw your own very easily. And if you want to, if maybe you brought it in and you're just going to draw with it with your drawing tool. Let me show you that really quick, because a lot of times people forget that they can easily draw a picture. Now I've been working in the S9 right now because I do have a 17, but I've been working in my S9. I'm going to open up this one and that. And here's my Digitize Outline Shape tool. I'm going to put my grid on so you can see. When you auto digitize a file, just like we did with the SVG, it's fairly easy, but sometimes I like to show that you can, there we go, that you can draw with our drawing tool. So if you wanted to create your own ghost, you could start here. Mine, if I shift and left click, I'll get a custom node. And then if I want to get a corner node, I would just left click. So I could, let's see, hold down shift and left click, just left click here, hold down shift, and we'll do one more maybe here because our ghost is not even. Oops, let me go back, hit delete or backspace to go back. Let's just do that, and one here. And then all I need to do is I'm going to follow it up, towards the top like this and create the top of my there. And when I get here, I want to use a custom node. So I'm going to hit shift and click. Now my drawing tool is set up for the context tool. And the different tools are based on how you click and all of that. And you can find that under tools, options, and then on the general page. And then if you're on a Mac, it would be under artistic preferences. And oh, wait a minute, it's not under general, it's under tools. And here are your different drawing type tools that you have. So you can change them. And I did a video on that before, on which of those work. Our software defaults to the context. So that is a left click for a curve node and a shift and click for a cusp. So that's where you get your lines and so forth. After you do your drawing, always come up here and click select. Let's see here if I have any questions. We're doing all good. Hi, Laurel. Hi. Oh, hi, Kimberly. All right, so there it is. I'm going to delete the inside because I'm not going to need the inside. And if I want to reshape it at this point, I would just hit edit nodes. And this is where I could bring my, my nodes in like this. Maybe I want this to be, I could use my lines if I want things to be more symmetrical. If my ghost is a little symmetrical, I could bring those up like that. Maybe this one needs to be over there. This can be in the center here, like that. So you could go through and, make it very organic, or if you wanted to, follow your lines, and this is, I think, would have been over here. This one, I'm looking at the little squares on my piece there. This is up here. Oops, let's go up here. So I'm left click holding and dragging, and then this one maybe will come up a little bit. There we go. Now I did put him outside the hoop just a little bit, but I know I have room down here, so I'm going to select it, and then I'm just going to use my arrow key to bring it down. He's inside the hoop. Now this could be my outer piece, and when I'm making these, I like to have a placement line, which I can use as a placement, or I can use it as the tack down of the felt. And then on top of that, then I start building my applique pieces. So let's go back and look at the one I did, and we'll go through the pieces, and I'll go to the top. So here's the first one, and this would stitch, and I could either stitch it first and then lay my felt over it, or because I know this hoop is like 5.5 by 5.5, I just put a big white, I hooped my stabilizer, and I put a 6 by 6 square in my hoop, and I just use this for the tack down. So I didn't have to stitch twice, but you can stitch it. You can use it for a placement. If you wanted to use it for placement and then a tack down, what I do is I have it selected, and I would copy paste it. It goes to the bottom, and then I would come up here. I'm going to just turn it green, and I'm going to drag. I can either click and hold and drag it up, or while it's selected, I can right click over here and go order to back of design, and then just move it this way. So now I have a placement and a tack down. And then I'm going to start on my appliques. So let me go back to our other one, and I'll show you how to create the applique. I'm going to remove I'll leave my grid, I guess. I use the shape tool over here. If you had, you can, when you bring in that ghost, let's go to the first one and see. If it has a cute little mouth that you like, or eyes, you could definitely grab these, and let's see what happens. And it is just, this one is a circle. Some other ones in there. Let's look at the browser really quick. These other mouths I saw on other ghosts, and I actually just drew them in there, so they were easy to do. So you're going to work through those. So let's go create those. You can use the ones that auto digitize, or you can create your own. I'm going to take the shape tool, and I'm just going to left click and drag and make my first circle. Then I'm going to select it to turn the tool off. And then down here, I'm going to go to properties. I want it to become an applique, so I don't really need the outside. It's going to give me that anyways. So I delete that. And under fill, I have applique. And I'm going to zoom in. See how that looks like fabric? And then the outer part, it auto sets to the E-stitch or blanket stitch. But over here, I can decide which one I want. So I'm going to do a satin stitch. I'm also going to trim my fabric during embroidery. So this will give my applique a placement line, a tack down line, and then a finishing stitch. They're all going to be the same color, but the machine will stop with each one. So once that gets there, I'm going to go to the outline and check. This is a 3mm outline. If I like that, I can keep it there. If not, I say I want 2.5, so I'm going to put 2.5 mm, and it'll auto convert it for me 2 inches and move this back down. So there we go. Now that I have one, how do you get the second one? All you have to do is select it, copy paste, use your arrow key, and it'll slide on over. Oh, let me reselect it. Let's see here. There we go. And it should move up. Then you could just move it over there. So now I have the two. Now for the mouth, let's say I didn't want to do an oval, the scary oval. Maybe I wanted to do, I'm going to draw something. I could draw the more of a zigzag mouth like this, and then maybe have curves down here so he's a little more scary. I want to make sure this one up here, I want it to be a cusp, so I'm going to hold down Shift, put it on top, and click. That closes my shape. So now I can have the inside and the outside. Let's turn off the tool. Come down here. Let's just delete the outside. We don't need that. And then here again, I have just the mouth, and I'm going to go to applique. And right in here, you can see there's my applique. I'm going to do fix satin again. Go back to your outline and change the outline width. So I want that to be maybe 2.5 mm. Now you can see I'm going back and forth between inches and metric. And even if you're in metric and I tell you something is 2 inches, you could do the same thing. So once you set your measurement preference, you can always easily input the other, and the software auto converts. In the beginning, I would have to go back and forth and go on my computer and figure it out. But now I love that. And especially when I'm doing stitch length and stitch width. We're so used to that using our sewing machines because that's a metric number in there. So we're comfortable with those numbers. So that's why I get those numbers. Now let me show you how this is going to stitch. I'm going to go over here to slow redraw. Now everything else has stitched. This is the start of the smile. I'm going to turn it on here. And it's going to do placement line. And it's going to make a little jump out stitch. So right here it jumped out. I think it made a little point right there. That's not really a point. And now it's going to do, you would lay your fabric down and then you would do your tack down. And there, see how it made a little jump out? This is not really a stitch. It's just in the graphic, it has to show it that way. So I would have held my fabric down. I would trim my fabric now, and then I would start my machine again, and it would start with doing the finishing stitch just like that. Okay. So these are tiny little appliques, and they're very easy to do. So in order to get all the other pieces of what I'm doing, I know this could be my placement and my tack down. And then typically I want to add a back piece to this so that I can cover up all this part. On mine, I did have that nice backing. And I also want to put a little thing at the top here so I can have a hanger. And I notice this is going to be really close to the top. So what I'm going to do is go to Edit Nodes, and then I'm just going to click and drag over those nodes right there and put my cursor in there till it has the 4 arrows. And I'm just going to drag it down a little bit and just make them a little shorter. He's a little short ghost, Some of us are tall, some of us are short. And there we go. And I'm actually going to make these eyes a little smaller as well because, there we go. Now you can make the next part where you add the back, you can add it to the outside of this or the inside. So since this is my placement, I'm actually going to add it to the inside. I'm going to select my outline, and then I'm going to go to copy paste, which puts it at the bottom. I'm going to change color. Let's make it this red color. And then I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so it's on the inside. So I'm going to check proportional. And right in here, if I'm going to make it a little smaller, let's look at what 96 does. 96%. It's So it's in a little bit, I'm not sure I like it. So other option, let me undo. Another option, if you don't want to work with your percentages, is come back to your convert, auto border. And this one, I like doing it this way. I'm going to do it to the inside, and I want it to be on the inside. So I'm going to put, I don't know, 0.02, I think. We'll see if that's too close. And okay. Yeah, it's too close. Let's click off. It's kind of close. So maybe I'll use 0.25. Let's go to that and see. Let's put this at, let's say 0.2 and okay. There we go. All right, so now I have that stitch that's going to hold the front to the back, and that's the one I like to use a decorative stitch with. So I make it a running stitch, and then I like to use the bean stitch, either the oval or the other. So there's oval. I can make it a little wider, or I actually like it a little longer. So I'm going to make it 3.0 mm. And then we'll scroll in. There you go. You can see it a little bit better this way, right? And the only thing I need to add, if you need it, is a reminder to put in your little hanger. And if you'll remember, what you'll do is before you put your back piece on, you'll put your little hanger up here. So it gets caught in the back. But as a reminder, what I did, because sometimes I get busy, is I drew a little line across here like this with my drawing tool, right click, left click, right click, end shape. And then I selected it. Let's put it more towards the middle. And I'm going to make it a different color. So I'll make this one, maybe this pink here. Okay. And let go. And then let's not have it as part of that red part. Let me go back up here to auto. So I go to manual. So it gives me my parts. And we have two parts here. I'm going to have to get rid of one of those. So this is my hanger reminder. I'm going to put it above the finishing. So I don't know if I have an extra finish. And I have one here. Okay, so I have an extra outline. Let's take this one away. There we go. There's my inner one that'll hold the back and the front together. So does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Let me put the camera on and I'll go through a little bit looking at the piece so you can understand that a little bit better. Here we go. Let's see. All right. So what happened is, and I cut away, that placement line becomes my trim line, which I really like. So I created the outline first, right? Then I drew in my facial pieces and made them applique. Then I drew a line at the top. Well, actually, I made that other outline first, but you can draw the outline at the top to remind you to put your little hanger in, and your hanger has to fit in there and actually be caught by the back. So I have one, I think I gave it to Danielle, that my hanger wasn't far enough down. So you don't actually have to stitch it with that line, you just have to know to put it in. Once I laid that in from the back, I would lay the backing on. So here's my hoop. I would flip my hoop over, and I would lay my white felt here, have that little hanger underneath like that, and then flip my hoop back, put some tape on it, flip it over, and then it will stitch this outline stitch. And then once I get done, I just trim it all away. And I used a wash away stabilizer with this. You could use a cutaway or a tear away if you want. And when I do a tear away, before I cut, I open that seam, open it up a little bit, and I tear the tear away so I can get right in there. And then you have this nice clean piece, just like that. Does that make sense? So give me a thumbs up if you understand how that works. I've done these before. I mean, even this one is the same way. Now on this one, I just left the bobbin thread in there. I didn't change it to black. Definitely when you start doing your the back part, if you want it to be to match the front, you want to make sure you change your bobbin thread. And I will show you this one next. Oh, everybody's saying okay. And we're doing good on time. Okay, we're going to be a little over today. So let me show you this one, because this is really fun. This is a little more of a challenge, but remember doing when you did quilting and you did flip and stitch? Do you remember? Yeah. or stitch and flip. Maybe it's stitch and flip. So that's the basic idea of this. Once I had my, we're going to pretend we're in my hoop. Here we are. And I'm going to show you, we're going to make all our placement lines. And I know in the center, my yellow is going to go in the center. So I'm going to lay it over the center lines like that. And then I can have it stitch it down. And then I know I'm going to have to lay the orange one. It's going to be at the bottom. I line it up with the bottom edge of my yellow, and I stitch those together. Now you could stitch these at the same time together. Once it stitches, I flip it down like that. Okay, so stitch, flip. Same thing at the top, stitch, flip. Very easy. And then it goes around one more time to hold that down. So let me go to that one and show you, because sometimes it's clear as mud, right? And I gotta go back here because I don't think I switched. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go get this guy here. And you can see, let me zoom in here because you can see these other ones. Get bigger here, I'll go down this way. So you can see before I open them. I did some with decorative stitches on the lines. I haven't stitched those out yet, but I was creating them. But I really like the crosshatch one. So I'm going to open up my crosshatch one. Now, as a reminder, when you're working, make sure that you save your design first as a draw file. So come up here. I know we get carried away and we immediately go to a JEF file, but make sure you come up here and do save as, and it will give you in the save window. This is the Mac look, but in your PC, you'll have this too. You want to save it as a draw file. When you get done, that's when you can go and save it as a JEF. I pretty much transfer it. I export it to my USB. I don't really save it as a JEF. I don't save a lot of JEFs. I keep mine as draw files. The draw file is the one you're going to go back to and edit. That's how that works. So here's my really nice cross hatching, and the pieces that for the stitch and flip are here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me look at my pictures here, because I think I have one that is just the lines. Maybe not. I thought I had one. Nope. Okay, so let's just go here. So to start this out, I drew my my little guy. So I'm going to take this one and I'm just going to move it to the side like this. Actually, I'm going to just, yeah, no, I'm not going to change that. I'm going to change to a bigger hoop. I'm just going to go back because then it doesn't turn pink. I want to make sure we can see all of it. And with the 9, it's going to be outside the hoop. So let me show you this. We'll do it this way. All right, there it is. Not that hoop. Let's go back. Too quick, too quick. We want the big one. There we go, that one. All right, so this, I'm just gonna move this one down out of the way. So let's get hoop, there we go. And hit select to turn off the hoop tool. So to create this, where did I go? Right here to my outline shape. Now there are some wingdings and webdings that are just like this that you can use. But I figured I can draw this pretty easily. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. And I want to do a curve here, straight line there, curve there. So first I want to do a cusp, and then I'm going to do I'm going to switch over to a curve, and I have my snap on, so it's snapping right to those lines. So, and I'm going to back up. So I'm going to start with a cusp. I want to do one curve, and then I'm going to do another cusp down here. So shift and click. Oh, wait a minute. No, let's do that, and then go over here. I think if I put 2 curves in here and then this one, there we go. And then I'll go across and I'll do 2 curves here. So one here and one kind of here. And wait, this is this, sorry. It's been a long day. Before I came on, I was doing a sales presentation for 2 other machines. So it was a busy morning. And then I would come up here and I'm going to go to the top. And then I would do, the reason I want to show you this is you want to do a cusp node and then you want to do 2 curve nodes. So you get a nice curve, and then you can do a cusp node right there, and then come back down. And so these are looking a little weird, so I might have to go in and adjust them. Let's see what this looks like when I select the top of this. And I do edit nodes so you can see them. So you can see I did a cusp node, an auto curve node, cusp, auto curve, and then same thing up here. So that makes those nice curves at the top and bottom, and then nice straight lines in the middle. So I have my shape, and so I'm just going to copy paste this one. Let's take this one away because it's sort of yucky. And we'll take the top one up here. So say I drew this one, and copy paste, and then just bring it up here. So the first thing I wanted to do was create the segments of my my piece where I'm going to do my stitch and flip. And I just figured, I think I want a line across here and maybe a line across. It's about how deep you want each of these. So I'm going to take my digitize outline shape. Now my snap tool is on, which I really like. It's under view, grid, snap, and it keeps it nicely on the line, which I really like. So it only has to come a little bit beyond your shape. And I'm going to go back over and move this in. We don't need it really long. And what's nice about this is when you have snap on, it makes your line perfectly straight without a little back at the end. Because sometimes when you draw your line, you wiggle at the end and it makes the line not very straight. So I'm going to do another one, and I'll do another one down here like that, and then end shape. I'm going to select that one. I'll probably make it a different color. I like everything different color, so maybe one is brown, and this one is, let's see, when I select it, I'm going to make it black. There we go. And then I'm going to close my grid so you can see better. See, snap is right there. Oops, there we go. So now you can see my lines for my stitch and flip. And in my design, let's go back. I did my placement, and then these 2 lines are actually the placement lines that will stitch, and then these are the stitch and flip lines down here. So let's look at that in slow redraw so I can talk it through. So here's my placement line. And you can make it all one color if you want. You don't have to. And then it's going to do a visual placement line for me. This isn't my stitch and flip. So that's where I know to lay my fabric. And then I would lay my fabric. Whoops, I'm going to go backwards. I would lay my fabric down after these. I would lay my white fabric in the center, or my yellow in the center, and then it's going to stitch it down. And then it's going to stitch the top down. Then I'm going to lay my white fabric right sides down, and I'll stitch it and flip. Orange fabric right side to my yellow, stitch and flip down. And then it's going to draw the little line for where the where my little hanger is going to go. And now it's going to hold down the fabric edges, and I can trim those close once that's done. There it goes. All right, so let's do those cross hatching, because this could be applied in many different places. So how I created that is I, of course, went to my drawing tool. Let's make sure my snap is on, so you turn that on, and then you come here. Oh, I got to turn my grid on first. There we go. And then go get it. Snap. Okay. And so I'm going to go and make a line across my piece. And so what I want to do is I'm going to start here, digitize outline shape, and I'm just going to need to make one line. I'm just going to go from here, let's just say through here. That's where I want it. And end shape. That's all I need. And then I'm going to go back to select I'm going to turn off my grid in case you wanted those lines. You might need it the first time. And then I'm going to come here to my rectangular array. And in my rectangular array, wherever I was last, it goes. I only need the vertical copies. I don't need the horizontals, so I can put that at 1. There we go. And then I can make my verticals whatever I need. So maybe I need 9. And I'm going to put my cursor right here, left click and drag it up so it lays on top of there. There we go. And then I can put them as close or as far apart as I want. So you just have to click on one of them and drag them up, and they all fall into place. Isn't that easy? You just crosshatched. How easy is that? So I'm gonna apply that, and then I'm gonna make them. Let's make them a color down here, like this green here, and then I'm gonna copy paste them, and then I should be able to mirror them like that and change their color. Let's just make them dark brown. And then I have all my lines where I need them. So to get rid of all this part out here, you can do one of 2 things. I found what I like to do is select this and then select all my lines. So I'm going to go to the bottom here because I think, let's undo that. These are all the lines. And let's just move this down. There we go. So I'm going to select that and all these lines like that. So I'm select them and hold down shift and select the others. Let's make sure I didn't get everything. No, I didn't get everything. This one. There we go. There, I've got all of them. Now I can right click on here and knife. And I have to see how it only cuts some of them. I have to keep going back and doing knife to make sure I can get all of them. So that's one way. So let me continue on and show you that. You may have to redraw that. Sometimes that happens because it cuts the bottom. Let's undo for really quick. Let's move this to the bottom. There we go. And let's just do it this way. This way it's on top of all my lines. You could do split outline, but for me that took a lot longer, I thought. All right, so I have my lines and I have my bottom piece selected and nothing up there. Right click, knife, and then all I have to do is go through here and delete. It did delete that outline, but I can go back and put that in anyways. So I just have to click on these and it's going to remove all of those like that. Oh, and it deleted the other side too. I mustn't have grabbed the other side at the same time. So you can do it that way. Let me put them back and then I'll show you split outline because some people like split outline. If you come here and you turn on your edit nodes and you select your line, right here, put your cursor, right click, split outline. And then you just have to take this piece. Whoops. Oh, you have to break apart. I'm sorry. There we go. Break apart. And then see how it made it a different color and then delete it. And then down here, I could do edit nodes and split outline. Select it, break apart, and see how it's 2 different colors? There, select that one, delete it. So now you'd have all your cross hatching that looks like this. And I made one color and one the other color. So there you go. Let me put that back up and see if there's any questions on that part of it. Oh wait, let's go back here. So after in the stitching order, so you can see that I'm going to remove this extra one I did because it's just going to be in the way of everything. So this is almost like doing a giant applique in some ways. So I started with my placement And because I was using a small hoop, I didn't need a placement and a tack down, so I just used it as my tack down. These showed me where my stitch and flip fabric's going to be. That's my stitch and flip. That's the second part for my other one. That holds it all in place. And then I create all these lines, so it's going to stitch all of one side, and then it's going to stitch all the other side. And then, of course, I have my piece there. So, and you can put your little hanger piece up there as well. So at the end, what I did is I trimmed everything nice. I laid the felt on the back. Oh, actually, you can make another outline if you need. And then before it stitched this, I made sure everything looked good and was trimmed back, put the backing on, and then it stitched this part. So kind of goes together. If you wanted, in this where I have it now, it would show the crosshatch on the back. On mine, I didn't do that. So I'll show you that in person. Here we go. So on mine, I covered it up, but you could do it that way. You could have crosshatch. This would really look cute with crosshatching on the back, but I just thought, well, I'm just going to do them like this, so they have plain back on there. All right, but this is how you can do crosshatch really easy. So you could do that in any piece. If you want to use the knife feature, you can do it with the knife feature, or you can just click on each one that, do edit nodes, right click a node there, put a node in and say split outline. Very easy, like that. And then just select it, break apart, and then delete it. So someone asked about making a crosshatch once before. So this is very easy. Let me show you how that stitches. It stitches really nice. I don't have a machine to show you, so I'm just going to show you in slow redraw. So let's go to slow redraw here, and I'm going to back up. So I did all my fabric, and now it's going to start the cross hatching, and it's just going to stitch all of one. And I use the same thread. I could have switched thread. Then it's going to come back through and do all the other one and then finish it. So very easy, very easy. So you could do this in different shapes. All right, I'm going to put the camera back on, and I think we are set. If you have questions or comments or whatever you need, make sure you post them down below, and I'll come back and answer those. I don't have written directions, but I think some people, if you go back through the video and just go step by step through it, once you'll get done. Let's see if there's anything else here. Thanks, Laurel. I look at my little candy corn guy over here. I love little candy corn. So, and there's another one you could make. That was just a stuffy, and that's stitch and flip as well on that one. So that was when I made a stuffy. And I have pillows that I've made for Halloween. So here they are. You could make them bigger or smaller, however you want. So, see, and I was with the S9, so I was limited in my hoop. Those of us with the CM17, ooh, that 19-inch hoop, you can make like an 18-inch ghost. I mean, or a candy corn, whichever. I think I'm going to go home and make a large ghost. I think that would be kind of cool. Then you can hang them up around the house. But lots of fun there. The other thing I thought of as I got this one going, the ghost, you can do it with glow-in-the-dark thread, and then at night they're going to glow. They might scare you, so be careful about that. All right, I'm going to let everybody go. I'll be back next week at the same time, same place. Hopefully I won't keep you as long as I have today. Check the schedule at the beginning of the week on the page. It'll tell you what I'm doing, and also what everybody else is doing in their lives that week as well, so you can keep track on all of that. So thanks for joining me today in my traveling studio at the office, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye for everybody. Bye for now. Let's see here.